Here we are at Circuit of Americas on board with Snipes, UF1 Snipes here. The Red Bull, I believe Miss Chandler has set a lap, so here we are for round number 4 at the Circuit of Americas for division number 2 here. So we'll run through the grid since it was a little silent. So, let's see. Snipes with a 132.195, followed by Bear G with a 133.651. Shine Dog, I believe, is in third. It looks like Wiltman has improved. So Shine Dog with the 134.241, followed by Wiltman with the 134.7, followed by Project Nemesis with a 135.6, Grass Cater with a 136.6, a AK with a 136.6 here. Gonna look to improve here on his lap. Miss Chandler coming into the pits with a 137.1. Redwood coming into the pits with a 137.1. Junie with a 141.298. And Gaz has yet to make a time yet. But the Williams driver coming through the second sector now, showing it how it's done here. Through the aspect of racing here in the Williams, showing the true straight line speed here. See what he can do here. Looks like he's not going to be able to improve this time. So you'll have to come in and set another lap later on. So his teammate is out there, about to set his lap time. Well, try to improve. We'll go to the intervals here. So he's got to make up 1.4 seconds to Snipes here in order to get pole position. 1.5. Shine's gonna have to make up 2 seconds to get pole. Around the final corner, what will he be able to crank up here? ERS and DRS is open. So Bear G. Let's see here. Looks like he's 400 up on his time here. Look into the telemetry. He's almost to the second sector. Through with the second sector now. About to get into the third. See how much he's gained this time around. Looks like since 6/10 now. He's improving. Trying to keep it together through the lap. Using the banking to his advantage. Trying to keep it together through the last corner. Will it be pole position? It'll be just short. 7/10 away from Snipes there, but it will be P2 for the time being. Just behind, the two kicks are going to be starting their lap. The Ferrari of, it looks like, Grasscater is going to be next across the line. As I could see, it looks like he is not improving on his time, and he is just invalidated. Project Nemesis is about 5 thousandths of a second up on his time. Looks like he's well, actually it says 5 thousandths, but he's 2.5 up on his time now. Keeping it nice and tidy. What will he be able to set? It'll be 6/10 improvement for Mr. Project Nemesis with a 135.055 for him. An improvement for the Scuderia. Shine Dog just starting his lap. The kicks, or the kick Saubers, are about to grasp the opportunity. Looks like Bear G is not going to improve on his time. AK is going to finish. Snipes thinks it's a good time, so he's going to retire. Looks like Miss Chandler is going to be next across the line. See what he is able to do here. Coming around the last corner here at Coda. And he's going to come in, and not going to be a good time for him. What will Junie be able to set? It looks like it's not going to be a good time. It's going to be... It's not going to be an improvement for Junie here. Coming into this time. Grasscater and the Ferrari crew is going to come together. Redwood just now coming across the line here. And that's invalidation around the final corner where it's easy to come across and not improve. And that lap would have gotten him in 6th position if it was valid. Shine Dog just behind. Looks like he is not improving, it looks like, but just doing some laps to try to get the grasp of the circuit. God's gonna come into the pits. Invalidation for him. Wiltman out on an out lap here. AK on a lap here. See what he'll be able to set here. Maximum deployment for him, and it's going to be a 136.4 for AK here. And that'll put him in 6th position, just behind the top 5 of Project Nemesis, and just ahead of Grasscater here. So the Haas of Wiltman is going to come across the line to start his. Miss Chandler is going to just start his, or just, well, Junie, actually, sorry, is going to try for another lap here. See here, AK looks to be on a cooldown lap. Looks like he's fueled up for 2 laps here to try to get the maximum amount of drive time out of these tires. And Redwood has also done the same, it looks like. So we're going to have to drive a little quick to get back to the finish line. Bear G just behind the kick Sauber of Miss Chandler. Looking to try to grasp at that pole position. Getting a little close here for comfort. And Shine Dog has improved with a 133.8, and that'll be not enough to outdo Bear G though, as he's on an outlap. Not sure if there's a little conflict there between them, but not sure if they're going to be able to make it to the line here. But Wiltman, he's 8/10 up on his time, so that'll put him provisionally in third position, and he's invalidated, and that would have put him right ahead of Shine Dog in third position if he was able to keep it on track. He was absolutely trying to push the limits to the car here. Junie is going to not improve. AK is on a lap. Looks to be not improving as it sits. Redwood will not improve either. Miss Chandler looks like Bear G is coming across the second sector now. We'll see at his times. He's down on his time now. He's not really improving. 76 hundredths of a second slower than his previous lap. As it sits. So AK, I don't think he's improving. He's not going to be able to, it looks like he's going to come into the pits and just take it for another day. Miss Chandler is going to come around the final corner. The lap is looking good to the Kick Sauber driver coming across the line, and it will be sixth fastest with a 1:35.494. And just behind is Bear G. It looks like he's 1/1000ths up on his time. Coming around the final few corners here. Oh, and drifts the car and tries to get it hooked up. And was not able to improve on his time here. But, man, has he gotten a run for his money. And hopefully you will see a turn for an event here come the formation end of the formation lap here at Division 2. Here in Division 1 for a quarter of the way through the race. So as of right now, it's 15% on the forecast, it says. So who knows? Rain might come. I mean, it is cloudy. Anything can happen. But Snipes will lead us away. So the soft compound tire runners are going to be Snipes, Shine, Miss Chandler, and Gauze. The medium runners are going to be Bear G, Wiltman, Project Nemesis, AK, Grassgator, and Redwood are going to go for the longer period of stint this time. So will those soft compound tires be able to make it towards the reckoning that they're going to have in Sector 1 and 3? Because we all know the soft compound tire isn't really a good racing tire. They're more for the smoother drivers. If you're smooth on the implements, and you might be able to get away with going on them and getting a little bit longer of a stint than usual on them. So we'll see how Snipes, Shine Dog, Miss Chandler, and Gauze approach this soft tire stint coming along the formation lap. The end of the formation lap now. Snipe's going to lead us away here. All right. All right, we raced here in Division 1. Here we go for the second time here at the Lone Star State. 5 red lights, and it is boots on the ground for Texas. Snipes gets a good start on Bear. Bear is a little bit compromised there in the back there by Shine. Around the outside, a little back end loss from Shine. A little contact there from Grasscater and Redwood, and Grasscater is around. So far, not a case for scenarios here in Division 2. "21 laps. Grasscater gonna keep the pedal to the metal and try to get back of what he just lost. A little bit of a back-end loss from everybody, it seems like. Trying to get the power down as early as possible so they have the opportunities to stand for themselves. The biggest winner right now is Gaz here. Wiltman staying where he's at. Shine Dog looking for Bear G. Bear G looking for Snipes. Shine Dog looking for that Aston Martin 1-2 right now. Gaz on the attack for Project Nemesis. And Snipes will set a 1:35.766 for the fastest lap. Miss Chandler trying to catch up to Wiltman here on those soft compound tires. Start feeling the tire deg as of right now. A 3% difference between Bear G's tires and Snipes' tire right now. Miss Chandler about to be under attack from Project Nemesis. Around the outside, Project Nemesis goes with DRS enabled. And Miss Chandler is going to late brake around the outside. Ooh, a little back end loss from both of them there. Can manage to keep it together. And Shine Dog losing ever so slightly some ground on Bear G. And is going to come close to under attack from Wiltman just behind with those fresh mediums. And those mediums, those crossover points are going to start happening here in another probably 2 to 5 laps from now. Probably around lap 6 or lap 7, we're going to see a major turn for how those softs are going to be. Wiltman trying to navigate through Shine Dog's rear view mirror. We get a nice aerial shot of everybody trying to be consistent through the first sector. We try to avoid as much penalties as possible, as it's easy to rack up around this venue. Redwood trying to chase down Gaz here. Gaz trying to chase down Miss Chandler. A 1.7 gap between Snipes and Bear G. That gap is steadily climbing a little bit. Project Nemesis trying to keep with Wiltman here and trying to get out of DRS range of Miss Chandler. 1.1 seconds separate them now coming into the third sector. But now he's back in within DRS range. I'm not sure if he got the DRS just now, or if it was just a little too far behind. Looks like he was able to get the DRS. Just barely got it. Good deal for Miss Chandler there. Is that raindrops? No, it isn't. All right. I'm just tripping because... But look at that gap between Bear G and Snipes has come down to drasticness. 1 second gap between them now. Redwood going to be under attack from AK, the Williams teammate of Bear G. AK pretty soon. Shine's going to be under attack from Wiltman, nearly within DRS range. And Project Nemesis is ever so slightly trying to catch him, so that way he can get Miss Chandler out of DRS. And it looks like he has achieved the DRS, out of DRS range for Miss Chandler as it sits. It looks like Gaz has had a moment in the back here. Redwood's looking for a move. And now it's a three-way battle for 7th. A little contact between Gaz and Redwood. Manages to save the car, though, Gaz. AK looking for a desperate move to try to get by. Looks down the inside at the hairpin. Goes a little deep. Redwood, there's contact. And that AK is around. I'm not sure if AK has damage or not. It looks like Redwood does. So that's going to cost some lap time after lap time. AK back around, trying to keep it together. As Tom would say, never give up. Never give up. Grasscater up the 9th position. Coming into this. Wiltman is still trying to catch up to Shine Dog here on lap 5 out of 20. So a little tire percentage update now. Shine Dog's a little bit better on his tires, about 4%. Well, now, yeah, 4% separates them out of their worst worn tire out of the soft compound runners. So I would imagine he and Miss Chandler are the least worn tires out of the soft runners. The rest are pretty up there, and they're going to start losing tire deg as they get inch closer and closer. Shine Dog or Bear G here, almost within DRS range again of Snipes. Trying to keep it consistent. Two championship protagonists here in Division 2. So round 4. I believe there is 4 more rounds left in the Division 2 championship. Could be wrong on that. Bear G still within that second to get DRS. And it looks like he's not getting DRS this time around. Drive-through penalty to serve. And what will Shine Dog do here? Or Snipes here do on the restart? And Snipes is away. AK looking for a move down the inside. Oh, a little bit braking anticipation. And Project Nemesis has lost the rear. And Miss Chandler's going to have a look. Not really going to see the opportunity to glance. Miss Chandler down the inside. Not going to be able to get through there. Shine Dog's got to serve that time or that drive-through pretty soon here. Keep it on the tire seats here. 11 out of 20 now, so 9 more laps to go. Bear G has got to keep those softs alive in order to stay with Snipes here. To have a chance to win the Circuit of America's Division 2 round number 4 here. Looks like further back, Redwood's having some conflicts with Grasscater. Trying to keep it together. AK. Wiltman trying to... Ooh, a little back end loss from Wiltman. Project Nemesis trying to capitalize on that back end loss. Ooh, down the inside. Grasscater goes on Redwood. Redwood was not seeing that coming, and Grasscater was able to get the job done and dusted, and he's got DRS to conclude it with. What a move from Grasscater. I'm not sure if there was contact there. I couldn't really see or acknowledge that. Redwood and Grasscater with a little contact there. Wiltman trying to chase down Bear or Shine Dog. Shine Dog's going to have to come in order to serve that drive-through. 3-second time penalty for Grasscater. And Shine Dog will come in, so that'll promote Wiltman into the podium spots as of lap 13 out of 20. Little contact there. It looked like. And a back end loss from Project Nemesis. He has that DRS. It's not going to be close enough, though, to make a move. Bear G's still stuck behind Snipes here. 1.5 seconds separate them. 2 seconds now separate them. The softs are going to start fading now. 3-second time penalty for Wiltman. And Project Nemesis will just have to stay behind Wiltman in order to gain that podium spot. Project with the DRS not going to be able to get by this time around. Look further back. AK looking for a move on Redwood. He's going to stay behind. A little back end loss from AK there. Go back to the Ferrari crew of each different team here. Ooh, a little drift from Project Nemesis trying to get the power down through the hairpin. Bear G seems to be a little bit quicker through the second sector. Down the inside, Project Nemesis goes on Wiltman. Wiltman leaves the space, and it's not going to be enough to get the power down for the Ferrari driver. And the Haas driver will be ahead, and there's a three-way fight behind. Shine Dog down the inside. A little tap from Redwood to AK. Redwood's going to have to concede the position to Shine Dog. Shine Dog around the outside of AK. AK is going to leave the room, and Shine Dog will be ahead for 7th position. And Redwood and AK are fighting for a half a point. So as it sits, Wiltman's going to have to make up quite a bit of time in order to keep the podium spot. He's already up a second behind or ahead of Project Nemesis. He's going to make up quite a few margins in order to keep the place that he has right now. I mean, they're both on the same contrast of tires right now. No rain forecast for the rest of the race, so 6 laps remaining here at the Circuit of America. Miss Chandler still behind, looking to try to make a move, and it's not going to be close enough to grasp that. Grasscater looks to be catching ever so slightly to the pack here of Wiltman, Project Nemesis, and Miss Chandler. And 1.3 seconds between Wiltman and Project Nemesis now. Absolutely hammering the throttle, that Haas driver is, to try to get ahead of Project Nemesis, so that way he can keep that podium position alive. Snipes and Bear G, 3 seconds separate them. Those softs are going to start degrading now. 34% on Bear G's tires. Snipes' tires, the worst out of them, just hit 21%. So there is a 12% difference. Well, 13% difference, sorry, between all of them. And Wiltman is slowly getting away from Project Nemesis. So Miss Chandler might have a shot here down the back straight with DRS enabled for his car, but not Project Nemesis, to catch back up, to try to catch... Well, it looks like he won't have DRS this time. So they all don't have DRS this time. No DRS. And Bears is losing countless amounts of time to Snipes ahead. .8 seconds now from Wiltman to Project Nemesis. AK with a 3-second time penalty. 4 more laps to go. Here at Coda. Back end loss from Miss Chandler. Grasscater just got caught by Shine here. Trying to get the traction down, but Shine Dog with the absolute power down the inside. Shine Dog goes with those hard compound tires. And that is job done. And Grasscater tried to keep it with the late braking. 3-second time penalty for Bear G. Ooh, a little back end loss from Grass. Project Nemesis 2.2 away from Wiltman now. Miss Chandler is backing away ever so slightly. So the hards. So we'll go with, I don't know what Wiltman's is because he doesn't have his telemetry up. Project Nemesis is at 18% of hards right now. Shine Dog's at 16%. So he's 2% better on the tire management as it sits. And the worst out of the hard runners are Redwood. And that's about it for the tire management side of things. Bear G's tires are at nearly 50%. Miss Chandler and Snipes are about the same on wear. Same with AK and Grass. And AK has lost it coming into the S's. Is keeping it on track there. 1.8 seconds separate Project Nemesis and Wilt here, our closest battle on track. Lap 18 out of 20. Trying to push the car to the absolute limits to get back within that DRS of Wiltman to possibly get that podium spot. Snipe starts that 19 lap, so he's on the penultimate lap. One more time around, and Snipes will grasp another victory here at Division 2. Ooh, and Wiltman has lost the rears, and he's in the wall. Out of turn 1. That is unfortunate for Wiltman, and that'll promote Project Nemesis and Miss Chandler. And Wiltman was looking for a good opportunity for at least a top 5 finish. Shine Dog's going to be coming right back at him in the S's as he has no wing to defend. And that is it, folks. Lap 20 is about to start. Bear G. There's the penalty stats for y'all. Snipes, Bear G with 3 seconds. The only one out of the top 3 that hasn't had a penalty is Project Nemesis. Miss Chandler with 10 seconds. Shine Dog with no penalty. Quiltman with 3 seconds. Grass with 6 seconds. Redwood with no penalties. AK with 3 seconds worth of penalties. And that'll be that. And as I said, the penalty sheets, Redwood has now obtained his 3-second time penalty through the final corner. And Snipes starting about to finish the final lap here. So he won at Jeddah in both events. So Snipes here won at Jeddah in both events, followed by last event, which was Singapore. He won. Now he'll win for the 4th time here at the Circuit of Americas. It is a 4th in a row, and he will win the Circuit of Americas in Aston fashion, followed by Bear G, Project Nemesis, Chandler, well, Shine Dog, and Chandler for the top 5, as Chandler has that 10-second time penalty to his name. Bear G with the 60% softs. That's got to absolutely be screaming for help there. And that's it. Grassgator crosses the line. Wiltman crosses the line here.
Hey, Snipes, did you win?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I gotta be honest, dude. I was in 4th, and the dude in 3rd had a 3-second penalty, and I was like, well, there's only 2 laps left. I can keep this inside of 3rd. I came around turn 1, and that dude was like sideways and like slapping into a barrier. I was like, oh, I think I got it now.
Wow.
And I'm not really sure what happened with the guy with the drive-through penalty, but that kind of screwed him.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've seen you the entire race. Like, I think after the first turn in the first lap, I was like, oh, I don't even know where the leader is.
Yep.
So we'll get on with the interviews. I mean, coming into 3rd position, Mr. I believe Project Nemesis, aka Jay Torres, in the house. Man, qualifying in I believe 5th, and coming out to the start of the race, or to the start of the formation lap. What was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was like, well, this race, usually a lot of people get like time penalties for track limits. So I was just thinking if I kept it within the track limits, maybe I could make up a couple spots due to penalties.
So tell us, did the strategy that at least went before the safety car come out, was it to come in or stay out a little later, or was it going to plan?
So I was planning on pitting around lap 9. The safety car, I think, broke lap 8, so I went ahead and pitted early for hards, and then I stayed on the hards the rest of the. I figured I could finish. I figured a lap early wasn't that big a deal, so I just stay on the hards all the way through the end, and then I had a couple lucky breaks. I think I forgot who the driver was, but somebody in front of me got a drive-through penalty, and then that put me in 4th. And then the Haas in front of me that was in 3rd, he got a track limits penalty for like 3 seconds. And towards the end of the race, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I can maintain the 3 seconds. And then it just kind of broke my way because I came around turn 1, I think, on lap 18 or 19. And the Haas was sideways, like crashing into a barrier. So it just kind of broke the rest of the way. Like it was pretty smooth sailing after that.
So when you were chasing down Wiltman before the safety car, was there a strategy just to stay with him and hope he makes a mistake?
Oh, I was trying to pass him the whole time, but then I kind of thought about it and was like, well, I'm well within the 3 seconds, so either he's going to make a mistake or I could keep it within 3 seconds. And he had a 3-second penalty, so I kind of felt pretty good about having that position at the end of the race. And then, unfortunately, he did make a mistake, and I was fortunate for me, I was able to get past him.
For sure. It definitely. Out of the top 3, you definitely. I would say the cleanest driver of the day. One of them. 3 seconds wasn't applied to you this race, so definitely. I would say driver of the day. You kept it consistent, but without any kind of penalties or drawbacks within the race. But coming into, I believe, next round. Let's see here. Can't even remember my own calendar. Jesus Christ. Going into Silverstone next week. What are your odds there?
I'm not really sure. There's some pretty fast drivers in Division 2. Like I said, I think I was talking to Snipes earlier. I don't think I even sniffed his rear wing the entire race. And even if I had been in second, I don't think I would have seen that dude. So there's some pretty fast guys. I do like Silverstone. So I don't know. It's possible, like I said, sometimes you get lucky and things break your way. I think this is like the 2nd podium I've had in this division. So who knows? Hopefully a little luck and a little skill, and maybe I can make another podium.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider Coda a power circuit, but definitely this one's one of the power circuits. You're not braking for very long, so, but yeah, like you said, hopefully we'll see you on the podium again, and congrats on your third position, and hopefully we'll see you again on the podium next week.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll go to the, let's see, I believe Bear G was next on the list. He was 2nd, so we'll see what he has to say here. Did put a little something in the chat. It's like not much to say. First stint was good. I struggled to get near Snipes because of the dirty air, but I kept the tires in good shape for the free air. I would have had once. He pitted if not for the safety car. After that, all I could do was hold on to P2 because I had to stretch the softs. And that indeed he did. He definitely stretched them for a long run and kept it consistent. I believe he finished P3 or P2 in Singapore. So definitely on the podium streak as of right now. So definitely I'm trying to keep the championship alive for Division 2. But coming into Silverstone for next week, hopefully we'll see him on the podium again, and we'll congratulate him to the 2nd place that he won around Circuit of Americas. All right, we'll go to the man of the hour, Mr. Snipes. Tell us. Pretty easy going. It seemed to go through the race start. You had a good start on Bear. Was there any kind of hope and pray nobody hit you from behind?
Yeah, there was a bit of hoping since they were going 3 wide into turn 1. But luckily they all kept it clean, and I just had a chance to break away from Bear G.
So Bear G was holding on for quite a bit of time. Was there any time before the safety car where you were like, it's kind of, his tires should be falling off or should be, catching at this moment, or no, or it was kind of just keeping the pace?
I think he was quicker than me to the end of the stint because I was on the softs and they were just dying after like 4 or 5 laps. I think the safety car really helped me out though because it kept me ahead of him and coming into the pits, and he had the guns to the softs and it just wouldn't work out for him since he had to make him last for 10 or 11 laps. So
yep, he's
glad
definitely
that,
struggling.
Yeah, I'm glad that safety car came out because definitely would have. I think that probably saved my race. I think I still have more pace than him though, but I think it definitely helped me out a little bit though with that safety car.
For sure, definitely. One of the circuits where it's definitely, I believe, the right front or definitely the right side of the car is screaming. So, but relatively kept it nice and even through all the sectors of the lap. Coming around, what's it called? The final corner. How's it feel to be able to get 4 consecutive wins?
Feels pretty good. I mean, it just feels pretty good, to be honest. I think maybe I'm a little too fast for this division. I would kind of hope not, but I feel like that's kind of the theme I'm picking up here. But yeah, it feels pretty good to win 4 in a row.
Well, coming into next week around Silverstone, any anticipations on it's the right way around, so you don't got to worry about that. It's not reversed. So, what is the outcome you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm hoping for a 5th win, and if nothing goes my way, hopefully for a podium. But I haven't raced Silverstone too much on this game, so I'm hoping I'll have a decent result there.
For sure, and congrats on your win in Coda and your 4th time around in the winner's circle. So, and hope to see you again next week, at least on the podium or in the winner's circle.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So, like as mentioned, D2 is done and dusted. So it's out of the way. So, like I said, Silverstone is next week for D2. It's going to be interesting on how that plays out, on how the drivers are going to be able to navigate this power circuit, home of Formula One Motorsport. So definitely going to be an interesting one on how setups are going to be played out, how tire management is going to be played out. Is there going to be punctures this coming race? Is there going to be carnage? Who knows? We're going to have to see here in just a week's time. But less than a week's time, Division 1 is going to be racing at Singapore next week. So around Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 is when we are going to be racing around Singapore. And D2, in a week's time, is going to be racing in Singapore. So, and yeah, this livery is awesome. So if you haven't really seen this livery, why haven't you downloaded it yet? You know, hit the like button because it is so nice. You know, hit it. Hit that like button. Hit that follow button. Follow the league. Subscribe to the league. Yeah. Join the league. Be a part of us. Race beyond limits with us. Strive for improvement with us. Let's have fun racing together. United, you know. Let's have some fun and improve together. And D2 is out of the way for a week. And D1 will be back in a few moments' time. This is your boy Nerp and Nuppin, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
You ready? Let's go!